If you're wondering why your code is not production ready, even if you have all these tools now like Codex, Claude Code and Gemini CLI, you're still not moving fast enough to production and you are spending a lot more time with debugging than just coding in the beginning. So if you are facing all these problems, then I think this video is particularly the best for you, because I decode exactly what steps and stages I go through while developing a feature or an entire product, from specification to planning to exact to-do list preparation and completing the PR and pushing everything to production. So this is gonna be the best comprehensive video that I've ever made to show you exactly what my procedure is, and stick through it till the end and I'll show you all the pro tips and bonus tips and security concerns I face during development of projects. So without further ado, let me go into my workflow and show you exactly how we do it. So I actually have a project built here called just this weather app. Yeah, so this is my weather application, and I'll actually run it to show you how it looks currently. Okay. So this is how my app looks, and as you can see here, it's just a basic weather application. I can click on get weather and it just gets it from what's the current weather in the particular place. I'm using open weather API keys, and this is how it looks, and it's kind of cool. Before going into our workflow, here I am going to actually show you by building something realistic so that it will actually make you understand how I work on a day-to-day basis. So this is our application, and now let's say we are coming up with a feature where I want to give the users an option of light mode and dark mode, and they can also toggle between those two modes based on their preferences. So currently what I will do is, whenever I get this idea in mind or I get a feature request from a client or something, I'll just go inside a reasoning model like ChatGPT 5 or example like Claude's models like Claude Opus 4.1 and stuff. So I'll just go ahead and brainstorm this idea, like enhance it more with the examples from what I have in mind, and based on it, it will create a great spec so that I can go ahead and implement the spec out. So this is an example of how I built out the spec using agent mode in ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has now this feature of agent mode where it will actually give you a environment to do certain actions that only previously you would have been able to do. And with it, you can connect to your GitHub repositories, which is another pro tip, because if you are developing some spec, it will develop it from its own mind. So it will not have the context of your actual code base. So now with the feature and facility of connectors, which is also available in Claude desktop apps and stuff, you can actually prepare the spec with code in mind, so that the spec that you develop from day one is actually ready to hand off it to a developer or your agent, whatever it is. So now I have connected the weather app in my GitHub and turned on web search and stuff. And I just wrote this simple idea that I had in mind, that let's plan a light mode and color theme toggle for this app. And one great thing to note is that few months back or a few years back, you would have to write a huge bunch of paragraphs as a prompt that you are a spec driven developer engine or something, and you just had to write so much prompt to get things done. But now I just have to write my idea, whatever it is, and it just does this stuff automatically. And this is the speed of which they are developing these AI models, which is really great. And you can see how it works, because agent mode gives you access to a browser environment, and it automatically does all of this job. Like it reads from my GitHub repo, and these are the actions. It also references some of the blogs online, and at any point you can actually pause this browser and take over control as well. And the very end, it gave me this actual spec that it developed for our application, SkySnap Weather. And this is our spec. So what I usually do is I keep on iterating if I don't like it, and if I like it, I'll just go ahead and give me a copy pastable spec MD file in Markdown. And the prompt can be literally anything, and it can also give you a file to download it so that you don't even have to copy paste. So once you're done with it, I'll give you a quick highlight on the next steps. So once the spec is out, we'll just copy paste this and move into our code repository so that our agentic coders like Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, whatever, they can take this context from the spec, what we want to build, and then build it out in a step-by-step manner. So I'll do one thing, I'll just copy the entire response and go to my code, and I already have a spec file, so I'll just delete it and paste this new spec. I'll clean up it a little bit based on what are the unused code or text that's there. And yeah, that's it. So this is my new spec. One pro tip here is if you're developing features constantly, you might have a lot of this MD files. So you can create a docs folder. So in this case, I'll just do one now and move all your MD files inside it. And you can probably name it something better like dark mode theme switcher. And yeah, that's it. Once your markdown file is here, I'll do one thing, I'll just commit all of this. So one most used feature for me right now is git commits, because these agents do a lot of these things by itself. So I'll just keep on committing it very continuously so that I can always roll back or revert to a most safer state if like something happens with the agent and it fucks up my code. And right now I'll just add new spec for theme. Yeah, so you can see I have committed it, and now let's start with stage 2. So stage 2 is actually developing our context file. So context file means this MD file that actually acts as a system prompt for your agents. So I use Claude Code a lot, and that's why I have this claude.md file. And one pro tip here is if you are using like multiple different agents like Codex and Cursor, they probably might have some different system prompt file. Like for this, in this case, agents.md is the same file for different agents. And I think pretty much most of the agents nowadays are, they understand to read from this file. So these are all the CLIs that are supporting this agents.md file setup. And but yeah, we are still, few tools are not up to that standard like Gemini and Claude Code and stuff. So what you can do here is, the pro tip is, I'll just delete this agents for a second here. So in your case, what you can do is you can just go ahead and create a symlink from your existing file to whatever file you want, gemini.md or agents.md. And this symlink is basically will act like a shortcut to that file. So imagine you only want to update this one file and you want it to reflect throughout different MD files like Gemini or agents, and you can create as many symlinks as you want to Claude .md file, so that it will automatically, if you change this, it will automatically keep on updating all the other files as well. So once everything is done here, that means that we have developed our context file. So ideally, what you can do is, once this context file is developed, you basically want to put the exact coding practices or standards or your favorite patterns, how you actually code inside the system prompts. So as an example, in one of our projects, we kind of had this pattern to always write method specs upon our React components, and also one-liner comments if some complex code is being written. And I put those things inside our claude.md file. That means whenever Claude Code is actually coding, it will remember that pattern and also keep on adding those useful comments or guidelines for our code that it's right. So that's something you can put it inside your system prompts. It will give out the code that you actually want. So that's the stage 2. Next, moving on to the stage 3, and this part is the most interesting part because this part is where the agent actually goes to code. So I'll just open up Claude Code and I'll just ask it that, hey, go ahead and build out the spec which is inside the theme switcher file. That's it. And you can give like the actual file in reference so that it can save time on searching for it. And that's it. So see how you don't have to write any specific prompt or something which you usually had to write, because they are such advanced nowadays, and even we have developed this spec exactly how we want it, and it also trained on our code, so you don't need to like give it example or example files. So this is the example of how you can develop applications faster and move to production faster if you are coding it in a systematic manner. So you can see it started up working, and while it's working, I'll give you a quick highlight on what stage 4 would look like. So stage 4 is the PR review loop. So here you'll have to get access to a few other tools that I'll give you some paid and free options as well. So one of our free tools that I mostly use is Gemini Code Assist, and this is the same thing as CodeRabbit and all other most popular tools, by the way. This PR review tools, so that it will sit on your GitHub. It will, whenever you create a PR, it will automatically provide this summary and give you proper feedback and upon what are the code or what are the standards you have followed or not. It will give you like a helpful code review. So I am using Gemini Code Assist for this because it's completely free even for private repositories. And what you have to do is you can go ahead and install it in your GitHub. Same thing to do with CodeRabbit and yeah, so you can see I already have it installed, so it won't show it to me. And the next best thing is that how you can train it to review code as like a human is reviewing it. So in order to do that, you'll have to, if you are using Gemini Code Assist bot, by the way, so you'll have to create this .gemini folder. Inside it, you can copy paste my exact thing, or you can customize it accordingly. So everything is here inside its yeah, so all the rules and directions that you want to develop these files are here inside this one single blog, whose link I'll put it in the description. And yeah, so as I have already set it up, so I'll just give you a quick look around on how it looks. So the config file is basically for your basic configuration stuff, like whether you want to enable them or not, and the pull request opened or not, and it'll just basically some major configs that you want to give it. And the style guide MD is where you actually train it to review on your particular preferences. So example, as I said, in your application, you always want to make sure that your functions contain a method spec, your one-liner comments should be there upon every complex code. And that's something you can put it inside style guide MD, because whenever I review a PR or like your team members review a PR, they might be going through some form of mental checklist, like whether a PR contains console logs or stuff. All of those mental checklist thing, you can put it inside the style guide MD. So here you can see that I have this type definitions, type patterns. So I have basically wrote the basic things that I need this repository to, like the standards that it should follow. And this is my MD file. And you can also use Claude Code and Codex to enhance this file, which I kind of did. And then you can push it to your repository, and then that's it. It will automatically review all the PRs that you make after this. And yeah, so that's a quick getaway there. But once that part is done, you can see on our right hand side, Claude Code has finished building this, and I'll just go ahead and give it a quick test locally. Okay, wow, so it generated a lot of different colors as well as the themes. Okay, but the light theme is not toggling correctly. So what I'll do here, I'll just go ahead and take a screenshot and paste it here. Hey, so the color themes actually look good, and I have the system theme also working correctly, but the light theme is not showing up. So you can see in the current screenshot, the light theme I have selected, but it's not actually changing my color theme to light. Okay, so, and also I'm using this extension to type as well, because a lot of our work nowadays revolves around typing prompts, which is a lot of typing in a day. So I use this software called Aqua Voice, which is really fast, and it just converts my voice to text format very easily throughout all the apps. So I'll also put this link in the description if you want to check it out. And yeah, so Claude Code is actually working now. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so as you can see here, my application is just finished, and I had to use multiple agents, and I think I last Codex fixed it. But that aside, application is now working, and you can see I can toggle between different modes, and this is the system mode by default, and there's a lot of color themes. So this is kind of an example feature that I've built, and once this is done, what I'll do is I'll just tell this that go ahead and create a PR to main branch, and this will go ahead and create a PR with proper body description so that you will like have a lot of context when the PR reviewer goes out and reviews this. So I'll open up my pull request view, and while it's doing, also another pro tip is some repositories if you are working on, you might have like, you know, type safety linting checks or type safe checks, or sometimes even the builds might be failing, because if you are using TypeScript, there might be some conditions in which your repository kind of fails, like building and stuff. So you can actually do one thing. So you can see this, we have linting package scripts and stuff. So you can put this inside your like system prompt, that you can automatically check that whether the lint code base is correct or not, so that once the agent is done running, it will check it by itself. And also the cool thing is you can use a thing called git pre-commit hooks. Pre-commit hooks is basically the hook that is provided by Git. It's a feature that was developed traditionally inside Git, and what it will do is it will automatically, while committing, it will check for all the scripts that you have mentioned it. So in my example projects, I have like linting scripts there, I have like my build checks there. So before even committing, Git automatically checks what are the issues. As I am using Claude Code to commit or any other agentic tool, it automatically sees those errors and it gets feedback into its agent so that it goes on and auto fixes it by itself. So I'll show you an example here how you can set it up. So you can see my PR is now set up. So and you can see now that Gemini Code Assist bot has started reviewing it. You can see here it has reacted with the eyes emoji, and it will tell you what are all the highlights. And yeah, after like I think 1 or 2 minutes, it will give out a good review of it. So here, let me set up the git pre-commit hooks so that it will automatically check up on the linting errors and stuff. Create a git pre-commit hook to fix lint before committing. Yeah. So it will go ahead and set up your git pre-commit hooks so that whenever you are committing, whether it's the agent doing or it is you doing manually, so you'll never push like type unsafe code or code that fails to production. So for it uses a package called Husky. So it just adds that package for me. Also, another pro tip, if you are using Claude Code a lot, is you can set up hooks so that it will know automatically that what package manager to use. So here you can see by default it uses npm, but as I have created a hook that so that it will only use pnpm whenever it like manages the packages. So yeah, so this command failed and it automatically used pnpm. So that's also a cool hack. And also even Cursor now has the support for hooks. You can see that it has added a pre-commit hook. This just runs this one single file script, and I'll just do a test git commit to show you what exactly is currently happening. So once the pre-commit hook is set, before committing, it will check up on all the errors. So here I actually forgot to add the stuff. So yeah, you can see it ran the CSLint script. Now the pre-commit hooks is set. So let me do some code that actually fails in the pre-commit hook, and we'll use Claude Code to fix it. You can see that I have added some type unsafe and linting errors by intentionally to show you how you can prevent it from going to production. So you can see that these are showing me lint errors. You can just fix it here itself, or do click on fix in chat or fix with AI and stuff. But I'll show you how you can leverage this git pre-commit. So traditionally, if you just go ahead and like commit this, it would have been committed and moved to production. But now it will actually show you this errors itself here only, so that before even committing, you will have to fix these errors or else it will not commit itself. So I'll just go to Claude Code and I'll tell that commit all changes. Then it will use git commit internally to commit the changes, and then it will see all the errors that git commit is producing, and that will automatically go as a feedback to Claude Code so that it will auto fix it and then commit everything. So let's see how it works. can see it found out the changes are staged. You can see it once it starts the commit process, it will automatically run the pre-commit hook, and it shows that hook caught linting errors. Let me fix them. So you can see it automatically removed them and then did the commit. So this is also another great thing. And now let's just push everything to a repository. And yeah, so now you can see in our repo, Gemini Code Assist already had done the code review. It tells that this is external pull request, that has a comprehensive theme switching feature, and it actually generates the reviews in specific line itself. So this helps you so that you can actually commit it here directly if you want, or you can just like visually see what are the changes it is like referencing to. So you can see there's a lot of reviews, and it also like sorts this by the like priority order and gives you like a good badge here to show you what's the priority. Then what I usually do, so this is if you remember our workflow. So you were in stage 3, which is the agentic coding, and we used pre-commit hooks and there were errors. So it used the agentic coding to fix it again. And then we used the commit and made the PR. So once the PR is done, we have our reviews from Gemini Code Assist bot, and as we still have some reviews, that means our checks are not passed. So I'll just go back and run a specific command that I have created, like a slash command in Claude Code, which you can copy paste, and that just prompts this agentic coder to complete this up, and then we'll just loop over it till it actually finishes everything. So I'll just show you what command I have here in a minute. Before it, I'll just clear everything up and I'll just fire this command. So it's a slash command, so you can see it will appear here if I type fix PR review. So this is a command I use a lot, and I have created it I think a few months back, which is helping me to kind of review all the code and automatically fix it. I'll show you what it contains. Okay, so this is my global commands directory. So this is where all my commands are stored, and this is the fix PR review command. And what it is instructed to do is, let me just allow it all permission. So it will go ahead to your PR and fetch or see what are all the PR reviews that you have got, and it will match it with the actual style guide compliance. So you can also customize this according to you, and it will, for me, it will just check from my style guide and Claude.md any system prompt that you have, and then it will analyze all the review comments that you have got. So it can be whether a particular developer has given you comments, or it has you have gotten it from an agentic reviewer. So everything is here, and in phase 4 to plan the resolutions and proper review a proper planning of all the fixes that it thinks, and you can just keep on it will just keep on asking you for approval whether I should fix it or not, and you'll see it in action. So it is going to view the PR, and yeah, upon every single fix it will create a git commit so that all your fixes are committed separately, individually, and then in the final steps, so it will push everything back to GitHub and re-tag this Gemini Code Assist bot to trigger a re-review, and basically whoever has reviewed this PR, it will tag that person automatically that, hey, the code is reviewed and I have fixed all the reviews. And that's what the great thing about this workflow is. These agents know GitHub CLI a lot by themselves, so you don't have to even integrate any GitHub MCP or stuff. Just install this GH CLI and log into that, and that's it. So it automatically does everything else. So you can see it automatically queried all the like reviews that Gemini Code Assist bot gave, and yeah, so you can see here it says that PR status and review state, and prepared a resolution plan and resolved issues analysis. Yeah, so this is exactly what it will go ahead and do. So let's just wait for it to complete this up. Okay, so you can see like the proposed solutions for all the fixes, and total estimated time is 20 minutes. Wow. And now it asks me, would you like me to proceed? Yeah, fix all. it tells you that I'll show you each change and wait for your approval before committing anything. So this is what you can actually play around with in your actual command. So I'll just give you this command in a gist so that you can copy paste this and use it in your workflow. And also, if you are using like other agentic tools like Cursor as well, so Cursor right now also created this feature for commands, so that in your project directory, you can have a .cursor folder. And yeah, so similarly inside it, you can create this commands so that it will automatically check that out. All you have to do is copy paste my gist and put it in your directory. Okay, so now Cursor, I think, automatically checks out all the command from my .claude directory. So it's kind of cool how these two tools are collaborating. So a lot of these PRs, also people have custom workflows or GitHub action that run upon every PR release. So imagine like you have a API tests to run or some kind of GitHub action that fails whenever your PR is up. So you can just prompt Claude Code or your agent to check why this particular agent is failing. Until it's fixed, it will keep on iterating over it. So let's now wait for the final fixes. So while it's doing, I usually go ahead and check out the fixes that it is doing to make sure that, okay, it is actually working correctly. And yeah, once I like the fix it proposes, I'll just press yes and it'll go ahead. So I think so far it has done a good job of fixing all the reviews. Let me see whether our app actually works now or not. Okay, I think, yeah, we have turned off the server. Okay, so our app also works now. Ideally, I just review this plan very thoroughly, but right now just for the demo, I'm not doing it. But feel free to go ahead and do that, because that is how you will always have safe code. And remember that while committing, it also runs our ESLint tool, which automatically fixes if there's any type errors or stuff. So that's the power of this workflow. And on the bottom left here, you can see that I have a prompt. So that was given by Code Rabbit, which is another extension I have here. And Code Rabbit also sits on your editor itself. So even if you want, before actually making PR, if you want to make your changes are correct or not, you can use Code Rabbit and just ask it to review all your changes here, and it can auto fix it as well. And on my right side, you can see it asks me permission whether I can comment this or not, and it's really cool. I'll just show you how it does the comment. So yeah, you can see here that Gemini Code Assist, all review comments have been addressed. So this is the changes summary. Please take another look when you have a chance. Thank you for your thorough review. So this is the comment that my agent wrote, and it's so cool that earlier you would have to request re-review and do all of this stuff, which it automatically does. And with a few iterations of it, once the reviews are complete, so now Gemini is actually reviewing it again with the same style guide. What I do is I'll just close this conversations and I'll wait for it to come up with the next review, and I'll rerun my command to fix PR review, and it will again check out the new reviews and fix it. So yeah, that's the agentic loop I am talking about here. Once all the code is done, the checks are passed in the PR review, then you can go ahead and move it to production. So you can click on merge pull request, and that's it. So yeah, so this is kind of the 4-stage workflow that I use on a regular basis to actually ship good code and safe code to production without having any issues. And yeah, so now there are a few bonus tips I would love to show you here as well, which I am starting to use recently. One of them is the Snyk extension. So Snyk is this Cursor or VS Code extension that will sit on your IDE. So I think it is here. Yeah, so this is an extension which basically it checks for all the security issues that you might go into while developing your apps. So remember how there's a lot of security issues like with if you are using Firebase and stuff, and you by mistakenly you push your API keys or like any endpoints to public, so that which you probably have no idea on. So while coding, like this extension will give you proper feedback that okay, hey, this is actually an issue. So you can see it is starting to scan, and I'll show you what it kind of comes up with. So actually there was no issues found on this repo. So instead of having an issue manually, I'll just show you a screenshot. So here you can see how the Snyk code actually shows you some of the errors. So if you write some bad code, it will automatically show you a SQL injection or some kind of errors, and it will also give you the fix as well as a directory of all these errors, and you can go to the directory and check out like how vulnerable this issue is and should you either fix it or not, and all of that you can find using Snyk code. And that's one cool thing. I'll put all these links in the description as well. And let's check out our PR. So now you can see that after I have made this comment, Gemini Code Assist went on and gave out some new reviews. So this time, and all of them are medium priority. You can basically choose to ignore this some priority labels like low priority. I usually ignore, and yeah, it will also give you exact style guide reference sometimes. And so all of these comments you can fix it using our command fix PR review. And once all the PR reviews are done, then Gemini tells you that yeah, hey, all the PR reviews looks good now. You can move ahead with this PR, and you can then go ahead and ship to production. So the next bonus thing I had was something called background agents, and I think you probably have used this. So in Cursor, if you are using Cursor has this option to like trigger background agents from different connections. So for example, here, if you are working on Slack, so you can use Slack to actually fire up Cursor background agents. So let's say in our application, I want to, change some stuff. So this is my app. I want to change this title. So I'll just tag Cursor. Can you change this title to something short? And before it, you will have to set it up correctly. And I actually set it up here. So it shows me that the repository is weather app, and the model I have picked is GPT-5. You can change settings from here as well. And that's how it will go ahead and start it up. So you can see it reacts with the hourglass, and it tells you that I have launched an agent, and I'll notify when it's finished. So you can either open it up on the web interface, and you can see it working in real time. So this is my prompt, and it shows that VM was started, and yeah, in a few seconds it will complete its job and create a PR back to your repository. Now finally Cursor agent ended up completing the job, whatever I have assigned it to, like changing the title. And you can check out here, and also from where you fired this agent. So it will tell you that I streamlined the main heading, and you can directly click here to view the PR. And our PR is here, and you can review the code here, and all the PR reviewer agents will automatically review this as well. And also, if you're using Cursor, you can just tag Cursor here if you want to do some changes while you're on the go, and Cursor will go ahead and fix it as well. And also you can re-prompt it from this page as well. So you can add a follow-up like, hey, I want this specific changes and stuff, so it will keep on iterating. And yeah, so let's go ahead and merge it. This is how our application looks in the main. So the title is changed, and the themes are also there, and it looks really good. Use this as much as you want, and let me know how it goes on for you. And also, if you need any specific help in particular areas, you can comment down below, and I'd be happy to help. So that's it, and until next time, keep vibe coding. Bye.